Hi guys, so today we are here to help you doing protests and Rule 42's. So the first thing that you want to do in a championship is to enable protests. So we have a drop down right here. It is saying, do you want to protest in your event? You just simply set the drop down to yes, and in every sailing class there will be a protest and Rule 42 table, as we will see just now. So I imported the sailing class with 19 enrollments and 13 races, a normal fleet racing championship, and as you can see we have the protest and Rule 42 here. I did that many races so we can protest, and you can see how we handle at every race and every protest and Rule 42. So we'll first focus on protests and then on Rule 42's, and I will click just here, and you can see that there's a table for protests and a table for Rule 42. The same format of adding a protest in the back office of the Rule 42 and the protests are the same that skippers or coaches can make in the public event page. So I will just check them on real quick so you can see them, and we will then get on to um, the events race page to do a proper one. So this is our simple form, and I will show you later how to do it. So, and this is our Rule 42 um, simple form. As you can see, race, sail number, leg, action, and save, and new Rule 42 is created. So it's really simple, so anyone can make it. So what I will do is go to the event page, and as you can see, all the enrollments in all the races, and you have a tab here called protests. As you can see, there's no protest yet, and what I will do, as I'm enrolled, I can protest. So I will begin adding one. So there's only one class, and I will select it first, so it enables the races. As you can see, all the races are here, and I'm applying for race 1, that is the Red Fleet racing. This is why in the back office you want to name your races, so it doesn't go like this and go race 1 and another thing like Red Fleet. So I'll go with race 1, and automatically the initiator and respondent sailing numbers are set, and you can choose from any enrollment that participate on this specific race. In this case, this was the Red Fleet. I will show you the event page later so you can check that. So we'll do this one against this one, and I will not do phone numbers as they are not required. Only within this risk fields are required, and I will make an example of a protest by boat against boat, and I will add the protest time and date so the risk committee can get it, and I will just select a random date and hour and minutes. Okay, so the protester representation is the one who's filling in the protest. So I'll add some name, and if you want, do your email right here, because you will receive an email that this protest was sent. And go with the time and date of the incident. I will leave it like this, but you can always change it, hour, minute, and date, obviously, and second. Um, Refer a place of incident. I will go with the first upwind leg, and uh, add what were the broken rules according to me in this case. So I will copy and paste, and just to be quick, and so halfway through the first upwind leg on race 1 from the Red Fleet, we Spanish 266 were on starboard, tacking on 21 and approach on port tack. We hailed starboard, and 21 tacked too close to us, forcing us to head into the wind to avoid a collision. So now I will go into the next field is who, if there is witness to this protest, and I will add like both Fra 9 because he was there, and my action was by hailing. And when did I hail? At the time of this, of course, and I used the word starboard. And of course, is by hailing. I will not pick any other thing. But if I like you scream at them saying something to so them can get out of the way, or uh, turn or something to avoid the collision, you can also write it right down here. So what were the procedural matters? So we hailed, protest, and showed the protest red flag. And we have some proof. If you have some proof, I will add an image that is proving that I did what I did. It did what I'm protesting. So the race committee can have evidence. So, and the next thing is saving this protest. As you can see, it took us back to the event page, and now if we go to the protest, we can all of us can see that a protest is open. It has no decision because the race committee has not opened it yet. The same thing follows for Rule 42's. And now we can see in the back office. Imagine you are the race committee of this championship, and I will go to a club and go into the club, and when I'm on the sailing class on the purple, I go to the protest and I know, oh, I have a protest open. Now let's see. I will the race committee will obviously make a decision, and you can see right here all the fields that were set from the protester, and you can see the documents that it did and read everything. And when you are ready to make a decision, the back office just need to get the decision from the race committee, or even the race committee may be doing this, and apply the jury fields. The jury fields are the fields only for the back office to deal with. So you have your normal fields but if some field is missing, you can talk to us and it will be added fast. So the local protest number, if this protest is together with some other protests, if there are withdrawal requests, signings, and so on. If there is a fleet in this race, in this case was the red fleet. If the protest time is if the setting the protest time limit, and if this protest was made under that limit or not. If the protest of party is to be readdressed by someone of or if other party or both are considered for this readdress, applying more witnesses if that's the case, and who were interpreting this protest, applying if there is no objections about the interest party on this protest and so on. You have a few options. If the protest is valid, or still request validations if the hearing will continue or not, and if the protest is invalid. Nominate the facts found, and a diagram of if the diagram of the boat is endorsed by a committee, or a diagram is attached to the jury fields. Apply a conclusion and applicable rules if there is a short decision and the audience location. Of course, these fields are not mandatory unless they have an asterisk. If in this case these are jury fields, so none of the fields are mandatory. You, as the race committee, do whatever you like on your protests. If this protest is dismissed, and if anyone is disqualified from some races or are penalized as follows, and this penalization is given as some other means, if this protest is to be redressed and with a date, so anyone can see that this protest is being rewatched and readdressed, who was the present race committee juries, and who sign this protest and the date. So everything is set, every field is here, and obviously when you fill this, you save it, and it is shown on the um, the public event page as addressed. Okay. So, and this is it. This is how you make protests. Okay. How you make Rule 42's is exactly the same way. I will show now in the back office just for a quick run. So you click on new, you select the race. As you can see, the race 1 red 1, so to know the fleet, the sailing number which this Rule 42 is applying to, if there is a lag, the action that is being taken, and what was he doing, and just save it, and will be in the event public page as well. And that's it for Rule42's and protests. We'll be making more examples of this in the near future, but hope this initial introduction to it was helpful in some means, so you can start applying protests and Rule42's at your event. Goodbye. If you have any doubts or questions, please contact Proregatta.